después la fe, la certeza de lo que se espera y la convicción de lo que no se ve.
I got faith, I got faith.
Yo tengo fe, yo tengo fe.
I got faith, I got faith. I got faith in Jesus Christ, right?
Yo tengo fe, yo tengo fe.
I got faith, I got faith.
Yo tengo fe, yo tengo fe. Yo tengo fe en Jesucristo, man.
I got faith, I got faith, I got faith. Jesus is the only one I see at first place. Faith makes a certain of reality you don't see. It's not what you see, it's what you believe. He died on the cross for you and for me. He's the life-changing, chain-breaking, spirit-saving, Holy One. The Bible has been written so that you believe that Jesus is Christ, the Son of God. Believing that you can have life in His name. So take it seriously, cause this ain't a game. Jesus is the name that's above every name. Holding faith and a good conscience. We're certain having thrust away, made shipwreck concerning the faith. And like I said, my faith lies in Jesus Christ. I got faith, I got faith.
Yo tengo fe, yo tengo fe.
I got faith, I got faith. I got faith in Jesus Christ, man.
Yo tengo fe, yo tengo fe.
I got faith, I got faith.
Yo tengo fe, yo tengo fe. Yo tengo fe en Jesucristo, man.
Hi, my name is Robert. I'm 21 years old and I'm here to share a piece of my life. In 2007, I was diagnosed with a disease called multiple sclerosis. As much of you may not know what that is, multiple sclerosis, or MS, is a very chronic disease that has to do with the nervous system between the brain, the spine, and the optic nerves of the whole body. The nerves control your whole body. If the nerves are what control everything that you feel, what you touch, everything. So the way I was in the beginning of my life when I started having the disease, it was very traumatic for me. Even though I didn't show it, I did. It was very traumatic. At first, it started with the numbness. I was started to be numb back on my knee, and then little by little, there was a point that I was eventually numb from my neck down. It was a horrible feeling to know that someone can touch me and I don't even know who's touching me or what's touching me. Even if it was hot or if it was cold, it was a horrible feeling. And after that, it came the numbness, and then it will be also, I'll be on the floor most of the time because of me falling. Because I didn't have balance, my knees would buckle. I had horrible headaches. Most of the times I couldn't see because it was blurry, which I would get scared because it'll be blindness. Because that's part of the disease also, which thank God I never got blind. Also, it was horrible to know that I couldn't go outside because even though I like being outside most of the time, the weather was my enemy. I couldn't be outside if it was too cold. I couldn't be outside if it was too hot. If it was too hot, I'll start to feel numb again. I'll get headaches. I would get weak. I couldn't do nothing. But then if it was too cold, I still couldn't do nothing because I would shiver. My body would tense up. It was just a horrible feeling that I couldn't, and my jaw would quiver, shake so much, so hard that I felt like my teeth were gonna break. And it's it's something you can't control. It's uncontrollable that it's overwhelming most of the times. And it sucked to know that I had family that I wanted to go places with them to enjoy life and go to parties. I missed most parties, most events, most everything because everybody was doing it outside. Because last year, the summer, I mean not last year, but 2007, then the summer was very nice. Everyone would go to the beach, but that I couldn't do none of that. I would have to be in my house in 4 walls at room temperature because if not, I would flare up, and that's a horrible feeling because I wouldn't want that. And then eventually, it was just I love to be with my family. That's what I want to do, but it hurt me to know that I couldn't do none of that. And also, it's very traumatic to know that you can't have. You want something, but you can't have it. Because if you have it, then you're destroying your life. And my life is what counts at the moment. And it's just... very traumatic. It brings a lot of bad memories, and I missed a lot of things. This is what hurt the most because a lot of things happened, a lot of things didn't happen, and it really did suck. Sorry for my language, but I'm being honest. And the multiple sclerosis is nothing, it's not common for someone to have, especially no one in my family that has it. I'm the only one in my family that's ever had it, so it just came out of nowhere to know that it just came, and it just ruins everything, basically. But fortunately, it eventually all went away and I was starting to feel better again. It's just, I had to be careful with the weather. If it was too hot, I would start getting numb. If it was too cold, I would start to tense up. And it was, so I eventually had to start going to doctors to find out what was going on, and then I did MRIs. And as I did the MRIs, doctors told me that I had 4 lesions. The first time I did it in 2009, I did 4. I did 2 MRIs and I had 4 lesions in my brain, and I had 3 lesions on my neck. And the doctor said I couldn't take any treatment. I just had to live with it because it's not officially multiple sclerosis at that moment. And so I just had to live with it and just keep going with it, whatever. And then when I went to do the MRIs again in 2010, I ended up having 7 lesions in my brain, and then I had 4 lesions now in my neck, and then I had a skip lesion in the back of my neck. So right there, the doctor told me that now I can consider myself having multiple sclerosis, and I can start taking treatment. Now this is the hardest part of someone's life, to know that you have to pick an injection for the rest of your life. To know that you have to, and to me at the moment I thought it was easy because, you know, since I do give shots throughout the day for my job, but this time it sucked because I'm not doing it to another kid. I'm doing it to myself. I'm my very own every other day patient. That's the part that sucked. So I had to be constantly seeing myself and injecting myself, which at the moment that was easy, but it wasn't. And I didn't want no one else to inject myself. Me being ignorant, and I know I could have had someone, but I couldn't. I wouldn't want no one else to see me like that. And that part was probably the hardest, and knowing the injections, and most of the time that I forgot to inject myself, but most of the time I just didn't want to because it's just, I got tired of it. I was sick of it. I was like, I don't want no more of it. And it was just overwhelming most of the time. And then one day, you know, I was tired of it. I've always been, since I started injecting myself, I was always tired of it. And once I started, you know, when I was with Maggie, me and Maggie, we were always together. Maggie always tried to help me. You know, she always tried to preach to me and tell me things, but, you know, me being ignorant how I was in the world, you know, going clubbing and drinking and all my other stuff, I was ignorant to it. But there was one day that changed my life forever, and that was, I'll never forget that day. It was September 6th of 2011. That was the day that God called me and told me, okay, that's it, you know, I'm here to save you. And I thank God for that because it's the best day of my life. He took away my cigarettes, he took away everything I did, and with nothing, because Maggie knows, God knows, I've tried plenty of times to quit smoking cigarettes and it wasn't capable by myself. Without God, you can't go do it by yourself. And he told me, okay, my son, that's it. You don't have to inject yourself now, which is what I understood and what I felt. But at that moment, since I'm new and I didn't really understand most of the gospel, I thought I was going crazy. I really thought I was going crazy. I was like, how can I stop injecting myself? You know, it's something that I have to do. If not, I'm going to, you know, get worse. So later on the day and night that I had to inject myself, I felt bad because I didn't inject myself as I was going to. Something, I felt sad that I was like, I couldn't do it. So I just said, okay, you know what? I'm driven by faith. I'm not gonna do it no more, and I stopped. I really didn't tell nobody about it. I mean, I just told Maggie about it, but didn't tell nobody else about it. It was just me, God, and Maggie. That's the only one that know. Because I know a lot of people would have been worried if I told them I'm not injecting myself anymore. So as time goes by, and I'm telling you the truth that I never felt better after I stopped injecting myself. I felt 100 times better. And then eventually when I did tell a couple other people, there were a couple of people that told me, don't worry, you know, logically, you know, you have to inject yourself because that's what God made medicine for, so you have to inject yourself. But even when I did try, when I did listen to that, and there was 1 week that I started injecting myself again, and I was like, no, I can't do this because I'm thinking logically, I'm not drinking by faith. Faith was telling me, no, you can't do it. So again, I had to stop. And I did stop. And I was like, you know what, God, I leave it in your hands. You do with it what you want. And that's what I did. And I was just going with it. And I believed it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going by what you want. Because now, ask yourself this question. If God told you, stop injecting yourself, would you listen logically to what someone told you? Or would you listen to what God told you? I went by what God.